Welcome to Marlax 101. I'm your host, Marlax. Today we're going to be talking about the Anvil Crucible, how to use it in combat and other things. But I'm going to be making one speculation on this that it may grow in size, and that's what we're going to be going off of with this video. This old concept is basically to put a fighter inside of this thing, but if this grows by any amount, up to like a medium-sized pad or something in there, what the Crucible's for is mining, okay? Don't trust me? Fight me about it. Okay, that's what it's going to be. It's a mining ship. All right. Think I'm crazy? Hear me out. This crucible, if it grows in size to the point where it can hold an expanse and or prospector inside of it, namely both. If not, you would pair it up with, say, a liberator. You go out to where you go, prospector's mine, put it in the expanse goes and refines the material goes into the prospector. The one weakness to mining ships is that when they're damaged, they got to get repaired, okay? But the one benefit of a repair ship is that if you have access to material, you can repair ships, which means they can go out and do that job for longer periods of time. Second thing that you would use this combination for is exploration, because, for instance, in my fleet, if I have enough people to pilot all my ships, I have my Carrack, Liberator, Starfarer, Crucible, and then you'd have the Expanse and the Prospector inside of the Crucible, ideally. But if I had to, you could stick it onside the Liberator. This means that essentially the weakest point of your entire fleet is the Crucible itself, because if it's damaged and can't repair itself, it's disabled, and then you have to basically go back to base after your next big damage or risk losing everything that you have. But if you have enough firepower, you should be able to protect the ship, and that's basically what the Liberator's for in that situation. So, long duration exploration type missions, the Starfarer would supply you with all the fuel that you need for all of your vehicles and everything else for the travel. Potentially could hold water and or oxygen, etc. The Carrack could be your main exploration ship, could potentially hold your ground assault type forces, but for exploration I would try to look for like two kind of like living habitation type modules that do like plants, so you can grow food, get oxygen, water. If you can cycle that oxygen between all of your ships, it's going to allow all of them to stay out for a longer period of time. And then the Crucible's job is going to be repairing your ships, which means that the crew of the Crucible will be able to hop into the Expanse and the Prospector, go out there and harvest all the minerals and metals and stuff that they need to actually do the repairs on the Crucible while they're not doing repairs. And potentially grabbing some of that valuable mineral and putting it on the ships for additional cargo to take back for profits if you happen to run into something worthwhile. The other thing is that all these ships together will be able to be for long-term space exploration, but also ground exploration, because you could easily land all these ships onto a planet's surface because they're all able to do that function and be perfectly fine on the ground. And then this Crucible can basically do a number of things. So essentially, this is what I think the Crucible is useful for. If this hangar gets big enough to hold the Expanse or the Prospector, then you can see this being a very big deal in the future. If you really don't care about having as much firepower on your Liberator, then you could easily probably slot those on the Liberator and take up a couple positions. But I don't necessarily want to do that, so hopefully this right here will expand at some point. Or you just find some people to pilot both of those ships and you bring them with you to the fleet. As long as the Starfarer can supply enough fuel, you should be good. um, so you do the Expanse, the Prospector. You could even bring a Vulcan in here if you wanted to. And just those three ships would stay around the Prospector, or the Expanse, or the Starfarer, and then the Liberator would probably be around there somewhere to hold excess materials and etc. So you guys have a good one, and I'll try to come up with some different ships to talk about, because I have a few on my list to kind of just open up your mind to what things can do.